ladies and gentlemen, today is leg day. What does that mean exactly in terms of calisthenics? Well, there's a lot more options in calisthenics when it comes to leg workouts rather than just simple weightlifting. As you can see, I have quite a few laid out for you guys right here. And we are going to go over all of the leg workouts in order to get to the coveted pistol squat. I'm going to teach you how. First of all, we have the basic squat. This is the first workout. Now, of course, you know what squats. Everyone knows what squats. Okay. Squats are the foundation that you're going to build your legs on. They're very simple. And it's going to help strengthen not only your legs, but your lower back, which is very essential in doing any leg workout, whether it be weightlifting or calisthenics otherwise. The thing is, as you do more leg workouts, you need to do less leg workouts. So when you're first a beginner, you should be practicing squats. You need to practice your calf raises, which is number 2. So we're going up there on the chart. Now, why do I say that? Well, because the thing is, the more complex leg workouts actually work more muscles in your legs than just a very simple squat. Squats are foundational, which means you could cut out the rest and you would be fine with that. But the thing is, as you get stronger legs, you're going to need to do the basics less and less. Same way that if you start out lifting a 5-pound weight, once you can lift 100 pounds, you don't really need to go back into 5-pound weights. So, you move up there for squats. Now, squats, as I said, they're pretty universal, they're very basic at giving you a good, solid foundation and especially strengthening your lower back, like I mentioned before. Now, calf raises are leg adjacent because they're really good for obviously building up calf strength, but they are not quite hitting the thighs in the same way. They obviously hitting your lower half of your legs, but that is going to help you in building more strength in not just your calves, but also your toes. So you notice there's a pattern, is that every time there is one workout that works one part of the body, it seems to work the others. Now the thing is, I see a lot of people try to fight their forward growth when doing squats. You don't need to do that, especially if you have long femurs. So essentially what people are doing, they're trying to they're doing a squat, they're going to keep them straight up and down. You want to start, what happens basically is people want to sort of keep their chest and their body sort of upright while they try and go down. But as you notice, if you try and do that, your body's going to tilt forward a bit and you're going to look kind of awkward. But the thing is, you don't need to fight your forward growth. There's really no point in it because you're still maximizing your leg gains. It doesn't really matter as long as you keep your singular path. It's not about the upper body, it's a lower body exercise. So I want you to keep that in mind when you do squats. I'm not saying you should tilt forward, but if you do, it's not a bad thing at all. You shouldn't be worried about it. Now, actually, for the forward squats, what you want to do is, for a basic squat, feet should be shoulder width, not slightly wider, not like push-ups. So shoulder width, and you could do this holding a weight, but if you're starting out, just use your normal body weight and sort of slowly bend down, and your knees should go in front of your feet. Like I said, you go down, all the way down, until you feel it. And the thing is, it is fine if your heels come up off the ground slightly. That is actually really fun too. Calf raises are very simple, but like with most squats, depending on the positioning of your feet, you can actually change what muscles you're working. Like I said, depending on the positioning of your feet, you're going to change which muscles in your legs that you target. So you start out with normal, that's going to target most of your leg. If you want to hit mostly the inside, point your feet outward and sort of slowly go down, up, to hit the inside of your thighs. And for outer, you want to point your feet inward. And that actually just makes sense in the same way that doing push-ups, changing the position of your hand is going to change which muscles that you hit. So, now this is where we're different. Calf raises are going to use more of that explosive power to help you. Sumo squats are going to help you if you're like a football lineman. You want to build more stability. All right. So we go that way. Now this is we're gonna take it straight to the pistol squat. So cannonball squats are next. Cannonball squats, you will do those next. And by the way, each of these should take you about 2 to 3 weeks, unless you're a fast learner. All right, so stay with it. So cannonball squats are going to help you have that balance, actually. Even though you're still on 2 feet, we have not yet gone to one leg yet. Remember, not pistol squats just yet. Cannonball squats, they are called that because it looks like you're jumping into a pool for a cannonball. So you're going to be going, see a pool, like that. You want your legs, well, actually I'll show you on the B-roll, but what you want to do is keep your feet together while you bend your knees. And keep your heads together, going up and down. If you end up bending forward, so be it. That's just a part of the process. Cannonball squats, going in for a cannonball. And if you imagine the movement, when you're down in the cannonball position, that is the similar position to as the pistol squat, you just have both legs in. So think about it, we're already almost there. Next is going to be split squats. For the obvious reason, we need to get you ready for the pistol squat by being used to being on one leg. So what I want you to do is find a sofa. A sofa or a bed works perfectly great. What you're going to do is put one leg up on the surface, and while that's up there, keep the other leg completely flat on the ground and straight. And then you want to slowly bend down, and you should really feel the strain on obviously, the leg that you're putting weight on. So it's going to get used to balancing onto one leg and strengthen one leg at a time. This is what's called unilateral training, where instead of training both appendages, you train only one. Same thing with one-arm push-ups, though your legs are much more stronger because you walk on them all the time, every day. By the way, all this should make you a really good kicker. We've last arrived at pistol squat. Now, disclaimer, while it goes right to pistol squat, there are some things you can do to warm up for the pistol squat. For instance, you could do elevated calf raises. Remember I said the calf raises are going to help you. Well, you want to do elevated calf raises with one leg. This is going to come back in for one leg calf raises. So it's going to come back in there. And the reason this helps is because you want to do those, but also on the elevated surface, you can do assisted pistol squat negatives. So you're going down. Again, you really want that balance. It is your leg strength, yes, but you really want that balance on that one leg. So you're going to need to be on a surface, but it's like you need room in the floor. But you're not going to get that unless you're up on an elevated surface. So I'm going to show you how you do one-legged negative pistol squats. Building up leg strength, you do pistol squats. You need to do assisted pistol squats, which you do by holding on to something else, doing the actual movement. This is just building your leg strength. When you get to the actual pistol squat, you want to be doing it actually the movement. The way you get better at any calisthenics skill is by performing that skill over and over again. The thing is, people are not always strong enough to get to the point. You need to build up strength, then start training the action. And if you need help for assisted pistol squats, you don't have anything to hold on to, which you obviously do. But once you actually start to do it, another part of the progression is, so there's assisted, then you can go on to this method, which is hold leg. Hold onto your foot as you go down for pistol squats. Then slowly over time, you're eventually not going to need to even touch your leg. And that's it for calisthenics leg day. Master the pistol squat, which is the end-all be-all of calisthenics leg movements. And that's how you build explosive knee strength. Stay flashy.